Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Jacob Fatu is set to take on LA Knight next weekend at WWE WrestleMania 41. But it seems like there may be more to that match than meets the eye. It's a surprise that Solo Sikoa and Fatu are not being handed their WrestleMania match, given recent teases, but one man who could make his return and insert himself into WrestleMania is Tonga Loa. Loa hasn't been seen since getting injured back at Survivor Series, War Games, and it seems like the Bloodline member could finally be on his way back to WWE. The star recently shared an image on his Instagram story to celebrate National Siblings Day, and he could be seen in the image without any slings or protection on his injured arm. Tonga Loa can be seen at the end of the back row, which also features his brother Tonga, who has been an integral part of the story with Solo Sikoa over the past few months. Loa has been out of action for almost 5 months, and it was reported that he was expected to return around WrestleMania season. While WWE could wait until the SmackDown that immediately follows Mania, they could also opt for Loa to return as part of the show. It's clear that the story between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu is far from over. That being said, it's hard to imagine that LA Knight will become the first man to pin Fatu in a singles match on TV. If Tonga Loa does make his return and cost Fatu the match, then it could lead to a new angle. The returning star could claim that Sikoa put him up to it, and this could set up a blockbuster match between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa at Backlash. Philippa is a WWE writer for Sportskeeda. She is also a mother, wrestler, dancer, former actress, and a Seth Rollins fan. She is a retired wrestler, dancer, and at one time enjoyed boxing. Philippa has tried her hand at all aspects of the wrestling business in the past, including booking, promoting, refereeing, commentating, ring announcing, and wrestling. Throughout her time in Sportskeeda, she has become known for picking up botches and sharing them. Philippa's favorite wrestler is Seth Rollins, but will allow her head to be turned by any high-flying superstar. She also once had a dream that Drake Maverick was her father. This is yet to be confirmed by the man himself. Outside of the world of spandex and screwjobs, Philippa likes to watch football, supports Stoke City, and is a huge fan of Judd Trump. The arena buzzed with anticipation as SmackDown rolled into Chicago. The road to WrestleMania was heating up, the Bloodline saga stretching into epic proportions, tangled in betrayals, shifting loyalties, and a power vacuum left in the absence of Roman Reigns. But just when it seemed like the story had no more chapters left to write, a subtle ripple on social media sent the WWE Universe into a frenzy. A cryptic tweet, 3 words, no image, no context. Blood runs deep, and the handle, @Jacob Fatu official. For those who knew, that was all it took. Jacob Fatu, the real-life cousin of the Usos, Roman Reigns, and Solo Sikoa, and the Samoan werewolf of the independent scene. A former MLW World Champion, known for his unmatched explosiveness, raw intensity, and an aura that screamed next level. He'd long been whispered about by fans, fantasy booked into the Bloodline as the wild card, the war dog waiting in the shadows. Now it seemed like the waiting was over. In WWE lore, the Bloodline was the dynasty. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the Usos, his loyal soldiers, Solo Sikoa, the enforcer. For years, they dominated the company with an iron grip. But real-life fans knew the family tree was much bigger, deeper, and more dangerous than even WWE dared to show. Jacob Fatu had been the one name consistently missing from the story. Too unpredictable, too intense, some backstage sources had whispered. Others claimed he was the ace up the company's sleeve, waiting for the perfect time to inject new blood into a family already on the brink of collapse. Now, with Roman's absence growing longer, with Solo growing colder and more unstable, And with Jey Uso on a solo run and Jimmy exiled, there was a vacuum. The story needed a new threat, a new heir. Enter Jacob. The tweet went viral instantly. Wrestling Twitter exploded with theories. Jacob Fatu to WWE confirmed. He's coming for Solo's spot. WrestleMania debut incoming? WWE didn't respond directly, but fans noticed something else. Paul Heyman went silent on social media. Even his usual pre-SmackDown teases dried up. Then came the Easter eggs. During a backstage segment, Solo Sikoa was seen watching an old match on a monitor. Zoom in, it was Jacob Fatu versus Hammerstone in MLW. A blink and you'll miss it moment, but enough to spark fire. A week later, during a promo with Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso dropped a line almost casually. Ain't just the ones you've seen, use. There's wolves in our family you don't even know about. The tension was thick. Something was coming. Something feral. Night 1 of WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa in a Bloodline rules match. The stipulation? Anything goes, but the only interference allowed was from Bloodline members. That seemed to stack the deck against Cody. Solo had no shortage of cousins, alliances, or unfinished business with the American Nightmare. But fans wondered, what if this was the stage for something bigger? The match was chaos. Kendo sticks, steel chairs, tables shattered. Solo Sikoa was unrelenting, his stare blank, almost soulless. Cody, bloodied but defiant, stood tall through it all. Then, as Solo set up for the Samoan spike, lights flickered. The Tron lit up with flames. Then came the howl. Not a wolf's, a man's. The screen cut to black, and in thick red letters appeared one name. The Wolves Dioan ASKPERHISSION. Music hit. A heavy, tribal beat fused with snarling distortion. Out walked Jacob Fatu. The crowd popped like a pipe bomb. Dressed in combat boots, a black hoodie, and tribal war paint under his eyes, Jacob moved like a panther. His eyes locked on Solo Sikoa, but he didn't smile. He didn't nod. He just stared. Solo looked confused. Was this backup or a challenge? The standoff was surreal. Cody crawled to the corner, watching these two Bloodline monsters stare each other down. The referee was down. The crowd was standing. Jacob moved. He charged, not at Cody, at Solo. A spinning back fist, then a jumping super kick that sent Solo into the ropes. A pop-up Samoan drop, followed by a moonsault. A moonsault from a 280-pound destroyer. The place erupted. Jacob turned to Cody, nodded once, and vanished into the crowd. Cody, stunned but seizing the opportunity, nailed Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody won. Jacob Fatu didn't just debut, he tipped the scales. The next night on Raw, WWE released exclusive backstage footage of Heyman storming into the locker room, screaming into his phone. You said he wasn't coming. You told me Jacob wasn't cleared. What do you mean he's in the building? It was official. The Bloodline had a new player, and he wasn't following anyone's orders. Jacob Fatu wasn't here to save the family. He was here to take it back. Within days, WWE uploaded a family tree graphic to their social platforms, highlighting the Anai lineage, complete with blurred-out sections. The caption? You've seen the Bloodline. Now meet the ones they left behind. Whispers of a Bloodline civil war spread like wildfire. Roman's throne now had 3 contenders. Solo Sikoa, the loyal but brutal enforcer. Jey Uso, the rebellious heart with something to prove. Jacob Fatu, the wild card who never bowed to the tribal chief. And in the middle, Paul Heyman, looking more like a man juggling knives than a mastermind. Jacob didn't cut promos. He didn't tweet again. He let his actions speak. Week after week, he attacked members of the Bloodline, but never Cody, never Seth. He wasn't interested in titles. He was interested in blood. Backstage, he'd walk past the Usos and just smirk. No words, just presence. It was clear WrestleMania wasn't the end. It was the beginning. The beginning of the next era of the Bloodline. An era where chaos reigned, loyalty meant nothing, and wolves don't ask permission. Let me know if you want a follow-up with character promos or a potential match card for SummerSlam based on this.